Yeah. Hello. Sherry here. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I always love spending some live time with you. I'm gonna give a second for some people to come on. Now, if you are watching this replay, thanks for watching so much. I'm glad to see you here. This video is going to be all about the #1 key to weight loss: consistency, because isn't that what we want? Hello, Des. Yes, if you are here, let me know. Talk to me in a little comment section. Tell me, what'd you have for lunch today? I want to know. And if you don't want to tell me that, where are you watching from? Let me know where you're watching from. Hello, Enviro Curl. Cool name. I see those curls right there. Yeah, so tell me where you're watching from, and we're going to jump into this. Okay, so I have created a free 4-video course for you all about weight loss and consistency and mindset. It's called the Key to Consistency video course. I think I call it mini course, something like that. Des had tacos in California. How appropriate. Tom and Michelle. Hey, Michelle from Concord, North Carolina. And hey, Fern from New York. I'm glad to see you guys. I hope your day is going well. Let me know where you guys are watching from. So I have created a 4-video mini course for you. You can get that at thewateringmouth.com/workshop. I hope you can see this forward, but this says thewateringmouth.com/workshop. Can you read this forwards, or is this like showing reverse image? Darlene from Sandersville, Georgia. Hello. So if you sign up here, you will get that 4-video course, which is free. It's also talking about the upcoming 6-week live online workshop that I'm going to be doing about this topic of weight loss, consistency, and mindset. Hey, YJ from Cleveland, eating a massive nutritarian salad. Fantastic. So that means you got about 45 minutes to go. We can read it. Okay, perfect, Susan. Thank you so much. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, lovely 007 from Jacksonville. Enviro Curl's favorite lunch is chickpea salad in Kentucky. Yeah, I'm with you. I love chickpea salad. So there's a free workshop available for you. The videos are going to start coming out tomorrow, I think it is. And it's also going to be talking about that video series is free. And it's going to be talking about the upcoming 6-week live workshop on the topic of weight loss, consistency, and mindset. Now, I want to make the quick, fast disclaimer that you don't have to be a nutritarian and you don't have to do Eat to Live to benefit from this workshop. You will benefit just as much as someone who was, doing Eat to Live. Even if you do paleo or do keto or something like that, you're still going to get awesomeness from this workshop because it's about the mind, okay? It's about our mindset and how do we stay consistent using our mind instead of any specific diet, okay? So that's the first thing I want to say about it. Second thing is make sure you sign up for that workshop because it's going to be free and it's going to be awesome. This little, not the workshop, I just keep saying the wrong thing, but the little mini course that I've created for you, that's totally free. It's going to have so much information in it. And you'll get so much just from that if you sign up for that, you guys. So wateringmouth.com/workshop, get that workshop. And then at the end of it, it's going to tell you how to get in on this live workshop that I'm doing, which is going to be super sweet, interactive, all that kind of stuff. So Des, I'm so glad you just subscribed. Cynthia, can't wait. Fantastic. And Michelle says, you really help us with your honesty. Going on 4 years, started with you kind of. Yeah, just about, right? I don't think there's any point to not being honest because it doesn't help anybody. So I'm glad that you appreciate that. Sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable, but I do anyways. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up as you're watching it. That will help other people see it and it will tell YouTube that you like me. So that's awesome. All right, let's jump in. The topic of today's video is the #1 key to weight loss: consistency. So I'm giving you like a big spoiler here, and we're going to be talking so much about this topic in the workshop. So I want to tell you, why am I qualified to talk about this stuff, right? Well, qualifications, easy, certified in plant-based nutrition, been coaching for a few years now, getting a life coach certification as well. So I am a coach. This is what I do: private coaching, and then I do some 21-day challenges and stuff like that. Lots of experience, and I put all of my experience into the things that I create for you to help your journey. Allison says, can't wait for the workshop. You know what, Allison? I can't wait to see you in the workshop. Thanks. That's going to be awesome. So Been doing this for a while. Also, you can look at any of my old videos, the embarrassing stuff and then the newer stuff. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing Eat to Live lifestyle for a long time. I've struggled myself. I've shared my struggles with you. I am coming from a long history of binge eating, like massive binge, uncomfortable, really painful kind of binge eating, at least once a week for 15, 20 years, something like that. Then I found Eat to Live, then things got like a little bit better, but I still was kind of like missing a little link. Like, this food is making me feel better. This food is helping me lose weight, but I can't maintain it consistently. Like, I can't, I don't feel like I can do this very long term. I feel like I can do this in spurts, right? And so that's where I kind of like was stuck. And that's the main thing I wanted to be able to help my coaching clients with too. Now, when I started out coaching, I was doing what they call accountability coaching, which is what you'll get out of most coaches nowadays. This thing of like, you have to join all these Facebook communities and you have to buddy up with people and you've got to like send in your food journals and say, this is what I'm eating. And then the coach says, shame on you, you should eat this instead or whatever. That's how I started off coaching. And for a lot of people, it can work to an extent, right? And it makes sense that it works to an extent, but it doesn't work long-term, because what it actually means is, in order for you to be successful long-term, you have to have an accountability partner long-term. And it works for some people, but not for the majority of people. It doesn't actually heal the problem. So what I got into in my life coaching certification through the life coach school is the idea of causal coaching, which is this idea that we're not looking at accountability, we're looking at the actual cause, the actual root of what our problems are and how do we fix those. And so when we can find that root and when we can start to work on that, and it's like a long process, it can be a long process for some, but if we're at least getting started on it, it's going to get better and better and better as we go till we get to the place where I am today. And I'm not perfect, like that's for sure, but I have this place in my sort of like heart, in my mind now, where I know I can create any result I want when I need it. And if I want to take a step back for a bit, I can do that too. But I have the ability to come back to it and kind of get it back regularly for the rest of my life. That is a form of consistency, right? So that's what we want to be able to just have, this piece of knowing that we can do whatever we need to do when it comes to weight loss or healthy eating or whatever. Hey, Tanya. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, my dear. Tanya came to Las Vegas a couple months back in June when I was speaking, and she's super awesome. And then we actually got to go share a meal together, didn't we, Tanya? Because you were here to see me, and it was such an honor to see you. So thank you for that. Long storied history of binge eating. I mean, we're talking about tons of food, 4, 5, 6 items, meaning like meals or boxes of processed food or whatever, kind of sitting around the couch in front of Netflix, doing my thing, eating as much as I can, going through this guilt and the shame, but this dopamine hit of, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, blah, 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 eating, finished with that one, sick of that one, let me open this one up, whole new experience, gotta eat all this, till you get to that place. And I just remember this. I was picking up a mat off the floor one time, and it's just like, it just stuck in my mind. I like pick up the mat and to bend over, it was just the pain from having so much food in my stomach was just a constant every week thing. And I had this thought when I was picking up this mat, like, this has got to stop. I have to stop doing this to myself because, I mean, it just hurts. And then there's so many occasions and so many occasions in my life where I would involuntarily vomit in the middle of the night around like 2 or 3 a.m. and just wake up and you got to throw up because you just ate so much junk. And I wasn't bulimic, but I would often, about once a month, eat so much that I would wake up in the middle of the night, just have to throw up because my stomach was so mad at me for all the things I put into it. So that to me, that's my history. That's where I'm coming from. So, always overweight, always trying to lose weight, but never able to. And then my life's mission became, when I found Eat to Live and I found Causal Coaching, my life's mission became, how do I get this to other people? How do I get this message of empowerment and that you have everything that you need in your brain right now to be able to fix whatever issues you have? So can I ask you guys a personal question? And can you write it in the comment section? I kind of want us to, like, I've just given you a bunch of my personal crap, okay? The binge eating, the hoarding, the hiding food, hiding from my spouse, hiding from my friends, from my family, or whatever. Can I ask you guys what kind of things you struggle with? Is it binge eating? Is it the consistency? Is it, what kinds of stuff? Is it carbs? Is it sugar? Like, what do you guys often struggle with? I just love to know kind of what we have in here. If anyone can relate to what I'm talking about or not. Kim asks, any ideas on how to start a plant-based support group? I'm on my own and that would help me with consistency. Yeah. So this is an accountability thing, right? And accountability can be helpful as a side support for sure. So I don't knock accountability in general. I think it's really important to have as a supplement to what I'll be talking about in this video. I have a plant-based group here in Las Vegas. I use the Meetup website. So meetup.com I think is the best way to do it. It costs money, so you might want to take like a little bit of donations or whatever. That's what I do, just to cover the cost of the Meetup website. But other than that, it's really great for the camaraderie and stuff. Cynthia says, binge eating for sure, anything. Yeah, I know. I feel you, girl. I know what that's like. All right, so that's kind of my history. That's where I came from. Started coaching on all of this kind of mindset stuff just recently in the last year and a half, something like that. Became very important and became very obvious that this was the missing link, right? Like anyone can do the accountability part, like you can find accountability partners and stuff, but to be able to actually heal from the inside out, that was the important part. So Allison says, binging on carbs and sugar. I'll do great for a while and then a binge happens and then I derail for up to months at a time. Yes, that's my story too. That I'm sure that's so many people's stories. Michelle says, I'm addicted to chips. Can't be in the room with them chips. Yeah, Michelle. So imagine a day where you can be in a room with all the chips. That's what I'm talking about, right? That is exactly what I'm talking about. If you guys look back, I think it was in December, I did a video about being frustrated about the social life aspect of things and how you can't have your social life anymore because you can't go to places that have a bunch of junk food. That's what I was trying to solve, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what this stuff solves. And so now my house has pasta and bread and things that I never kept in it before because I can handle myself around those things now. Can you imagine that kind of freedom? That's what I'm talking about. So Darlene says, when I sit still, then I want to nibble on something for sure. And Vero Crow says, I do well, then binge on chips and carbs. Yep. And Desmorg says, I try to eat healthy salads and smoothies, but then my family offers me sugar and I get addicted. For sure. The peer pressure is such a big thing, right? And that's kind of the same thing with the social aspect. Okay, so let's jump into this topic. So you can see where I came from. Right now what I'm doing is like my YouTube channel and stuff, but I'm also doing 21-day challenges to help people understand just how to do the Eat to Live diet. I'm going to take a real quick break to just talk about the free video series that I made for you guys. Sign up at thewateringmouth.com/workshop. It's a free 4-video, very in-depth about a lot of stuff we're going to talk about here and goes even further about some of these concepts and how you can understand how this works a little bit. And we're going to be going, I'm going to give you this 4-video series for free. And it also talks about how to get in on the upcoming 6-week online workshop with me, interactive, live Q&A. It's going to be instruction, Q&A. You're going to be able to ask your questions. I'm going to answer your questions live, all that kind of stuff, which is going to be all about, mindset, consistency, and weight loss. How to do weight loss, how to get over plateaus, how to stay consistent for the rest of your life, all the stuff I'm talking about. Carrie says, binging on nuts or almond butter. Every time I have them, I can't stop eating them. Yeah, imagine a time, Carrie, where you can be in front of all the nut butter and have no issues. That's what I'm talking about. Constance says, for me, it's consistency, craving the stuff I don't need, breaking down and going off plan. Yep, usually starchy carbs for sure. I'm with you. So birds of a feather in this room here. Thanks for sharing with me the vulnerable stuff, you guys. I appreciate it. This is what I want to help you with, and this is exactly why I'm doing this workshop. The reason I'm actually doing the workshop is because I knew I wanted to do a class. I wanted to do a workshop, but I didn't know exactly what to do it on. So I actually surveyed everyone in my audience. I surveyed my email subscribers and said, what are the things you struggle with the most? Consistency was number one, by a long shot. It was consistency. Then it was sugar, cravings, and just weight loss. Weight loss was number one, of course, but I just figure that's a given. But consistency was the number one thing that people were That's what I really want to get. So Leah says, work, personal stress, triggering binges. If I can get myself home, then I can usually make it through. Yeah, do well for a while and treat myself. Hey, Udaya, good to see you. Okay, so the point of this workshop, or the point of this video right here, number one key to weight loss consistency, it is your thoughts. It is mindset. Okay, this is the reason that we can all do this. This is the reason why, I guarantee that everyone watching this video can do what I'm talking about. This is the reason I guarantee anyone watching my videos or on my email list or anything like that can do what I'm talking about, because we all have something in common, and that's a brain, and we have thoughts. That's the only prerequisite we need to be able to do what I'm talking about. Here's why. Because the human brain has like a couple parts to it. One part is very primitive, that deals with immediate keeping alive, staying out of danger, like right now kind of stuff. And then the other part is what makes us human compared to animals, which is the prefrontal cortex. So this adult advanced side of our brain is the part of our brain that allows us to make rational decisions based on information. Like, what's the best thing for me long term, right? Kind of like, I like to think of it in one way, like here's the long term side of our brain and here's the short term side of our brain. That's kind of what it's really in a nutshell, you guys. That's not everything, but that is really kind of how you can think of it to understand the way that it works here. So we've got this part of our brain that is so useful for us for understanding that we need to change stuff in order to have a longer life. Like Doritos and pizza will keep us alive for a while, but it's going to ultimately cause a shorter life, right? So we can use this prefrontal adult rational side of our brain to go, okay, I need to give the pizza up and I need to instead have salads, or I need to have more vegetables, or just less pizza, or whatever it is. So I want to talk about, so we've got this number one key to consistency, which is weight loss. And now I want to do like a little exercise with you guys. And I just did a Facebook Live as well. So maybe you're seeing both of them. Maybe you're doing this with me again. But I want to do a little exercise with you guys about this concept of, so let's do this exercise. So I want you guys, if you are in a position to be able to close your eyes with me for a second and imagine that moment where you use the scale to weigh yourself, okay? So close your eyes, imagine what that's like. You're going into your bathroom, you get the scale out, whatever. For some of you, I'm sure you already have anxiety, right? Thinking about what that's like when you have to get on the scale and you don't know what it's gonna say. So we get on the scale, we have all this anxiety and we have this like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen kind of a feeling. And now open your eyes. I want you guys to think, when you step on that scale, what is the heaviest thing that you take with you? The heaviest thing. Have you decided? You got it in your head now? Okay. Heaviest thing you got with you on the scale. It's not your butt. It's not your thighs. It's not your hips. It's nothing physical, actually. It is your thoughts. It is your mindset. That is the heaviest thing you take with you on the scale. Okay. Here's why. So, when we have a negative thought about something, it creates a negative feeling. When we feel negative, and you know this, all of our actions come from our feelings. You know that, right? Like if you're feeling depressed, you just want to watch Netflix and snack. Or if you're feeling amazing, maybe you want to like go out for a walk, right? Or if you're feeling, sensual, maybe you want to like be with your partner or whatever. Our feelings create our actions. That's the point here, right? So every time that we feel something, if we feel energized and motivated, that's when we make good choices about food. If we feel depressed and sad, that's when we make bad choices about food, okay? So that's the first little premise here to think about, because what happens if you get on the scale and you think to yourself, crap, I gained weight again, or I didn't lose weight, or I'm so frustrated, this isn't working, there's something wrong with me. Those thoughts are going to make you feel crappy too. And what do you do about food when you're feeling crappy? You eat more, right? You snack, you eat, you overeat, you just eat a little bit too much, right? You're like, oh, I deserve this. I've been working so hard and I haven't lost anything yet. I should just be able to eat a little bit more, right? So what do those actions have as a result? If we take actions of eating just a little bit more, we take actions of just like overeating a little bit, even if it's not a binge session, even if it's just a little bit more than we need, what's our result going to be? Weight gain, right? So yeah, it snowballs. The whole thing just keeps going. And the very important part I want to make here is that, and I was talking about this on my Facebook Live too, chicken or the egg? Is it your thoughts that create your bad feelings, which create your bad actions? Or is it something else? Is it the actual weight that creates this, that creates that, or whatever? And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It is always your thoughts that create your feelings. Always. It is always your thoughts that create your feelings. And here's how you can know that, right? So if you're like, well, no, it's because I weigh 180 pounds or something, right? I don't know what your weight is. I don't even know how tall you are. That's just a number I pulled out of thin air. But if you said to yourself, man, I weigh 180, like I feel so terrible about that, like I'm so mad, then you're going to feel terrible, and then you're going to snack, and you're going to perpetuate 180 or something higher. But if instead you say, oh my gosh, 180, cool, I maintained, then you're going to feel better. You're not going to snack as much, and you're going to either maintain or lose weight. Now look at 180 though. Because let's just say you are a man who's 5'10". 180 might be a perfect weight for you, and you might love that weight. But let's say you're a woman who's 5'1" and you weigh 180. That to you could be a really bad thing. Okay, well, let's take the woman who's 5'1" who weighs 180. She sees that as a really bad thing. But now let's take the 500-pound woman. What does she think of a 5'1", 180-pound woman? She thinks, wow, she's really thin. I would love to be there, right? Or that's much healthier. That would be much healthier for me. Whatever she thinks about that is more positive. So looking at 180 is actually very neutral. That actually doesn't have any good or bad in it. It's actually just a number. But what caused our thoughts was not 180, or what caused our feelings about it was not 180. It was our thoughts about 180. Does that make sense? Right? It's not what the scale says that causes our feelings. The scale doesn't cause us to feel bad. The scale doesn't make us have any kind of a reaction. It's what we're thinking about the scale that causes our feelings, that then causes snacking or not snacking, that then makes us, go up or down in weight. Constance, thank you. I'm glad you got it. Udaya asked me what I think about meditation. I think meditation is fantastic. I recommend it to many of my private coaching clients as a way to get in touch with their thoughts. My private coaching is all about thoughts and the idea that thoughts create our results. And that's what we're talking about right here. And so when you can learn to meditate and you can just understand, just even what, you don't even have to meditate as much, but like just understanding how to call out your thoughts and like how to understand what your thoughts are, just like listening to your thoughts is one of the biggest things that we do in my coaching. And so you don't even have to formally meditate technically, but just being aware of your thoughts is everything. Udaya says, I think meditation is best for weight loss in mind. Absolutely, 100%. Totally agree. So we've got this kind of a spiral, right? We get on the scale, we see a number, which is totally factual. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a number. But we make up a story about it. It's terrible, there's something wrong with me, or this is great, I'm so happy, right? Like you could even think, same 5'1" woman at 180 pounds could think completely different things about 180 at different times in her life. If she was just coming from 200, 180 is amazing. If she's coming from 150, 180 is the end of the world, right? But those are stories that she creates about 180. 180 is just a number. It's just a circumstance. It's just a fact. It doesn't mean anything. It's when we assign meaning to it and we create a story about it that makes us feel a certain way. And when we feel a certain way, that's when we act. And then when we act, we either get, positive or negative results. Dina says, I wish I could find a reward I liked more than food. Yeah, so Dina, I just want to say that idea is that you need to find something outside of you in order to fix something inside, but the issue is up here. The issue is with your thoughts, right? And so this is all about what I'm talking about is that in order for us to have better results with weight loss, we don't need to find the next best thing, that sort of like shiny object or makes us more interested, like a hobby, maybe I think you might be referring to, or something like that you liked more than food. It's not necessarily an outside thing that we need to use. It's our brain. We need to be able to strengthen our brain to the place where, and I'm not talking about willpower. I want to make that clear. We don't need to just have better willpower, because that doesn't work. What I'm talking about is the ability to control our thoughts and to be able to see what our thoughts are and modify them or use them accordingly to create a better result. Okay. So like when we step on the scale, when we see 180, do we suddenly make up a story about how terrible we are and that there's something wrong with us and we'll never get this and we suck at this, right? Because if we make up that story, we're certainly going to be eating later in the day. And do you know what eating later in the day makes it look like? It makes it look like there's something wrong with us. When it's not that there's anything wrong with us, it's that we had a story that made us depressed, that made us eat, okay? So it's the story that's the issue. It's the thoughts that are the issue that create that problem for us. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Weight is just a number. Yep, just a number. Scientific, like I want you to look at the scale like a scientific instrument. It is nothing more than telling you how much you weigh. It's just a number. It means nothing. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you can't get this thing. Doesn't mean that you'll never lose weight. It means nothing. It's just a number. And in fact, I encourage my clients to use the scale to see how much they're spinning, to see how much they're creating stories about their weight, right? Because if you just get to the place where you step on the scale and it's just a number, you never have to worry about weighing yourself. You should weigh yourself just so you can keep that in check, right? Does that make sense? Okay. So, Carrie says, do you find that food diary helpful? Keeps you accountable to what you eat. So here's the idea, Carrie, and what I was talking about before with accountability. And I'm just going to take one brief pause just to say for everyone who's here, if you're watching the replay especially, go sign up here, wateringmouth.com/workshop, so you can get in on the free 4-video course, like little mini course that I've created for you, of tons of these concepts, okay? If you sign up here, you get that free 4-video course. At the end of it, I talk a lot about this workshop I'm putting on in 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's about weight loss, consistency, and mindset. So it's going to tell you how to lose weight, how to get this mindset and like this consistency using your mindset, right? So that's what this workshop's all going to be about. It's going to be amazing. 6 weeks live online with me. You'll be able to have the ability to ask questions. I'm going to be teaching so much content, and it's going to be content I haven't taught before. It's content I go through with my private clients. So you guys are going to get a really good inside scoop onto what it's like to learn some techniques that I use in my private coaching. And you have the ability to do Q&As and stuff like that. We're going to be able to talk about this. You can ask any question you want. I'm going to try to answer all the questions of everyone that's in there. So sign up here. You'll get more information, and you will also get that free 4-video mini course. Okay. So food diary. Yes, I do think that those are helpful. As I was saying before, accountability is not the way to change for life. That is not the way to do this for the rest of your life, because you are not going to fill out a food journal for the rest of your life, and you probably know it, right? The way that we're going to do this is we're going to work on the mind, actually. We need to work on the cause of everything, which is our thoughts. So as I was showing you, when you're on the scale, the cause of you being 180 is not, it's not that you're this is a little bit slippery to say, but like the cause of you being 180 is your thoughts about the number. Because when you think 180 is a bad thing, that's when you snack more. Does that make sense? The cause of 180 is thinking that 180 is a tragedy or thinking that it's really great. Because if you get to 181, then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I used to be 180. Why am I 181 now? Then you make up this whole story about how you're a bad person and blah, 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 and you eat more, and then you just make more of that. Okay? So I find it is helpful as a support. I find accountability partners to be helpful as a support. But I think the one thing we need to be working on so that for consistency, for lifetime consistency, is the mindset. It is the thought work. So when we get this part down, all that other stuff will support it. But what we want to do first is actually have the mindset stuff down. So Constance says, when I was 240, I wanted to be 180 so bad. Now at 183, I can't seem to go any further. I'm 5'3", stuck and depressed. I get it. Oh my gosh, Constance, that's exactly what I was just saying, right? Being 5'3" at 183 is a circumstance. It's a fact. It's just numbers. It's all it is. It's not good. It's not bad. When you were 240, 180 looked awesome, right? When you're 183, stuck, like feeling stuck there, like you say you're stuck and depressed. What do you do when you feel stuck and depressed? You probably snack more, right? So here's something we're also going to be talking about in the workshop is like, what do we need to feel and how do we get to feel that in order to be motivated? Like, what do we need to feel in order to get that elusive motivation or whatever, right? I'm going to talk all about that in the workshop too. Okay. So that is the number one key to consistency is your mindset, because when you have thoughts that create positive feelings, that's going to create positive action. So it goes, thoughts create your feelings, create your actions, create your results. And when you have positive feelings, here's the thing I was saying before, all of our feelings come from our thoughts. So here's the main concept. If our thoughts create our results, how do we get different results? We just change our thoughts, right? But it's not that easy. Yeah, because we can't just be like, because people will say things like, oh, law of attraction, you just have to put the number, what's your goal weight? I don't know, 120 or something. You just have to put the number 120 up all over the place and then you'll just attract that or whatever. Like, I don't believe that's how it works. It's more complicated that to switch, because these mindset thought patterns are very, very ingrained in us, right? Because we've been doing this, we've been in this rodeo for years or whatever, some of us decades. And in order to change those thought patterns, it takes some really interesting techniques and like focused determination, like interest in the topic and really putting these things into place. And as Udaya was mentioning, meditation, great way to start to see your thoughts and to understand what's going on in there. Udaya says, I have experience about meditation, focusing on my breath, how that's happening, that really helps to feel better, for sure. So meditation is useful in that way. Like, I love meditation in the beginning because it helps you start to just see your thoughts. So one of the things that I suggest for you guys to do, I always stand, if you guys ever notice me doing this, it's because I always stand like a flamingo when I'm cooking or when I'm doing videos or working or whatever. So if I'm ever going like this, I'm like not scratching my leg. I'm like lifting my leg like a flamingo. But so I think one of the best things that you guys can do is, first of all, start to like look at your thoughts. Like, look at how negative your thoughts are, right? See just how negative that is. And then in the workshop and in future things I'm putting out, this is what we're going to be talking about, is how to actually start to shift. It's kind of like I like to think of it like a cruise ship. You're on a cruise ship. You've been going in one direction for a long time. How do you, and that direction is towards weight gain or lack of consistency or something like that, or feeling like you're slipping or whatever. How do you start turning that cruise ship to be in the opposite direction of, and now your direction is, no, I got this. Like, I know how to do this. I can do this, whatever. So that is what we will be working on in the workshop. Okay. So I'm going to jump off here in a couple minutes. I'm going to allow you guys, if you have any sketch that's like really unnecessary. Thanks for saying that. I'm going to hop off here in just a second. And if you guys have any questions, I'm going to stay for about a minute or two more unless you have any questions. Now, let me just repeat, wateringmouth.com/workshop. I want you to sign up here. I'm going to give you a free 4-video mini series, which is going to talk a lot about the stuff we talked about today and go way more in depth on some of these concepts that we're talking about for my upcoming 6-week live online workshop. Okay. So in this workshop, it's going to be instruction on how to create consistency. Like, the topics are going to be weight loss, consistency, and mindset. The whole workshop is going to be about how to create those things in your life for the rest of your life. How do you get to be, when you kind of envision what a person who can just lose weight easily, or you kind of think of these people who they don't really care too much about food. They just eat and it's just what they do, or weight loss comes easy to them or whatever. Those are the concepts I want to be able to show to you. How do you put those things into the rest of your life to create weight loss, to create consistency? And how do you create that mindset to do it? So if you want, you can just get information by signing up right here, wateringmouth.com/workshop. I will be starting to put out information about this tomorrow or Thursday, I think. What happens is tomorrow the first video goes live, and it's going to be a 4 Well, I think it's going to actually take about 6 days or something, but it's a 4-video series. I think it goes Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then Monday. You're going to get 4 awesome videos with tons of information like this in it. Then it's going to tell you how to be able to register for that workshop. The workshop is coming up starting on Wednesday evenings on the 28th, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, I think. So it's going to be every week for 6 weeks, ability to ask Q&As, interactive, all this kind of stuff. You'll be able to, like, if you aren't even, this is the other thing I want to mention. If you can't go on the workshop, that's totally okay too. It's all going to be recorded and you will be able to have lifetime access to the videos, okay? So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up. If you're not interested, sign up for this anyways, because you're going to get those 4 free videos of, I think they're going to be, I don't know, at least 15, 30 minutes or something of like some really good instruction of concepts that will be talked about in the upcoming workshop. So make sure you get those at least so you can get some information. And I would just love to see you guys in the upcoming workshop. It would be so much fun. Rocky, I hope I said your name right, hun. She says, thought just becomes emotion so quickly that I realize it only when I'm in the emotion phase. Exactly. How to create awareness before it takes big shape. That's right, Yolanda. Thanks, babe. And this is the thing. This is what we're going to be working through in the workshop, right? Is like, the first step is to even know that our thoughts create our emotions. Because then when we know that, we can start to, like, every time we have a very strong emotion, we can start to, like, backtrack and go, okay, what are the thoughts that are actually creating this emotion, right? What is actually happening here? And then we start to do work on that. We start to figure out how to create emotions and create thoughts that are going to create positive movement for us on the scale. And then, like, just in our brain, knowing that we can do this long term, okay? Constance says, you've given me hope again. So looking forward to the workshop and video course. I'm so glad, Constance. I wanted to mention one thing, you guys. I did a workshop I did it right at the end of 2018, which was for the holidays. And I had some amazing people in there and they had some really fantastic, feedback about it. One woman said, let me see if I can actually find the, here it is. I think it's, oh wait, I might have it right here. I just want to kind of give you guys like a little something someone said was, she said, so I just finished watching the bonus video from the holiday workshop. Oh my goodness, girl, the last lesson just blew my mind. She says, picture my hair standing on end like an electric static machine. My jaw is still on the floor. I've never heard or thought of handling cravings this way before. I am forever changed. This lesson is the lesson. It's the missing link for me. The connection between craving foods to make us feel better so we don't feel uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. It's like walking around in the dark, struggling to find the path, and now you turned on the lights. Okay. I read that, not to brag, but like a little bit to brag, because I'm so glad she got such great results on it. But what I want, I read it because I want you to understand that this is what I'm hoping to give you, this like mind-blowing stuff all the time. And the thing that she was talking about, like the lesson about cravings or whatever, that's what we're going to be talking about some of that too. There's going to be a whole lesson on cravings. There's going to be a lesson on plateaus. Why we do what we do, why we're stuck where we are, and how we can change it, and then how do we create consistency. So this is the kind of stuff that you can look forward to in the workshop. It's going to be fantastic. I know you're going to get so much out of it, and it's going to be recorded, so you can always come back to it whenever you want to, okay? Michelle says, oh, I'm darling. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, I love you guys so much, and I just want to be able to give the same kind of a piece that I've been able to create for myself by studying these things. And I'm telling you guys, I have the coaching that I do with my private clients and with my life coaching certification, this method that I use, I have spent, oh my gosh, so much money on learning it and being able to coach it and all this. And I want to be able to deliver it to you in a way that kind of removes the pain of like the time that it took for me to find this. I want to be able to give it to you faster and for way better prices. So stick with me and I'll be able to give you this information. Carrie asks, how much is the workshop? I won't be giving the price right now, but if you sign up for that little mini course, I'm going to be talking about that at the end of the course. And then you can make the decision at that point once you have a full understanding of everything that's included in the workshop. Okay. Rocky says, thank you for doing live chats and answering questions. You're so welcome, my friend. Leah says, I need this workshop. I've got the food pegged, got to get my mind right. Yeah, that's the thing, we start Eat to Live and we know Eat to Live is the way to go, but then it's like how, right? Like you can read Eat to Live a million times and know exactly what to do, but like how do you do it for life, right? That's the part that I'm interested in, and that's the part I'm interested in making easier for you. I want to make your transition easier than mine was. So join me on this journey. Uday, I'm so glad to see you. I'm glad it was helpful. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys today. If there's no more questions, I'm going to sign off. As a reminder, get the 4-video workshop or the 4-video mini course right here. Sign up now, wateryourbmouth.com/workshop, and you will get access to all the information about the upcoming 6-week workshop. It's going to be phenomenal. You're going to learn like so much. It might even be overwhelming, but it's all going to be recorded. You're going to be able to come back, take notes. There's going to be like worksheets and all this kind of stuff that's going to like work into your inner being and like see where you personally are and create a plan for you moving forward. Okay. So I'm so glad you were here. Everyone, Dina, Allison, Carrie, it means so much to me when you guys are here, and I love you guys to pieces. So I hope you have, a fun Tuesday, and I hope to see you in the workshop, okay? That's it. See you in my next video, which I think is going to be what I eat in a day a little bit later this week, okay? See ya. If you have any questions, you can email me, sign up later. Bye. How do I turn this thing off?